Hello and welcome back to Cinema Kane's YouTube channel, and today we're going to be talking about the black sheep of the Halloween franchise, namely Rob Zombie's Halloween, Rob Zombie's H2 or Halloween 2, and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Well, here we go. We're on to the films that are very divisive in the franchise. Although there's a lot of films that are very divisive in this franchise, I won't lie. But let's begin with Rob Zombie's Halloween. A lot of people in the horror community don't like Rob Zombie, just in general. I mean, as we speak, his Monsters reboot movie has been on Netflix for several weeks now, and it has not gotten the greatest of reviews. And I mean, at this point I may have seen it, but I haven't seen it for the purposes of this video. Now, the reason I'm bringing up Rob Zombie being a divisive figure within the horror community is because, well, I haven't seen every Rob Zombie movie made. I've seen House of a Thousand Corpses. Okay, 4 out of 5 stars. Just a quick little thing there. Devil's Rejects, 3.5 stars, maybe. Trying to think if there's anything else of his I've seen. I think just the Halloween movies beyond those two. So, here's the thing. I once had a friend tell me that in his opinion, the Rob Zombie horror movies are like funhouse horror. And I think that is probably the best way to describe those movies, is funhouse horror on steroids, and definitely not for kids. Rob Zombie's Halloween is a brutal reimagining of John Carpenter's 1978 film. The things I will actually give Zombie credit for, because I think they're interesting aspects to his reboot, are the idea of exploring the psychology behind Michael Myers. The idea of giving him and Loomis the relationship that was hinted at in the original 78 film, but actually showing it to us on screen in this film. The idea of showing us the home life that Michael Myers was born out of. You definitely feel like, oh yeah, if I was part of that family, I might become a raving lunatic too. It's a difficult task whenever you are remaking an iconic movie. I can't say I fully love Rob Zombie's Halloween remake, but I don't loathe it either. It's a 3.5 out of 5. It's not a great flick, but I don't think it deserves nearly the hate that it gets a lot of times. I think that the unrated director's cut is actually a little bit better than the theatrical cut. The thing that's interesting about Rob Zombie's film is it feels closer to the sort of grindhouse era movement that Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez were kicking off around the same time. In fact, I want to say there was a trailer for Halloween, or Rob Zombie's Halloween, at the beginning of Grindhouse. It's an interesting film, and it's got an all-star cast. I mean, the cast in this thing is just loaded with people you've heard of. Lots of genre actors, D. Wallace Stone, oh gosh, I'm blanking on his name. Brad Dourif, that was the voice of Chucky, who's known for so many other great things. Danny Trejo. It's a good movie. It's not a great movie, like I said, but I do think that it's a good movie. H2, on the other hand, old Rob Zombie's Halloween 2. Where do I begin? You start in the trailer by getting a fake out. You think they're going to go Haddonfield Memorial Hospital again, because in the trailer, or in the movie, Laurie wakes up in Haddonfield Memorial, And there's a whole like 10 to 15 minute sequence that is taking place in the hospital. And then we cut to her waking up in her own bed at Annie's house, where she's now living with Annie and Sheriff Brackett. And they both have traumatizing scars. And the one thing I'll give, again, I'll give this to Rob Zombie for both the remake and for H2, because it was brilliant casting on his part. Scout Taylor Compton does a phenomenal job in bringing the iconic character of Laurie Strode to life. She's a brilliant young actress in this, and she's absolutely got a great performance, just like Daniela Harris, who they brought back from Halloween 4 and 5 to play Annie in Rob Zombie's Halloween and Halloween 2, respectively. Those casting choices were inspired. They worked out great. They've got great chemistry. But then you've got the brilliant Malcolm McDowell as Dr. Loomis this time around. And that is what I will definitely give props for to Rob Zombie. Bringing Malcolm McDowell in to play Loomis, perfect idea. Perfect idea. So, here's my gripes with Halloween 2, or H2, Rob Zombie's film. It is literally a gore fest. It's got no true plot. It's got nothing but super violent stabbings. Michael Myers is the least Michael Myers he's ever been in this film. It does not feel like a Halloween movie. Whereas Rob Zombie's Halloween felt mostly like a Halloween film, except on steroids. This film, wow. I don't know what he was smoking, what kind of drugs he was using, but H2, no good. Not good. There's no plot. Nothing feels like a Halloween movie in this, except for the names of the characters. While the acting is good, and there's a lot of genre regulars that are brought back, just like there were in the first film, it's not a great movie. I really can't say how much I dislike Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 enough. In my opinion, it's the worst film in the franchise, even more so than Halloween Resurrection. Now, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. This is probably more divisive than even the Rob Zombie movies, and that's because they decided that we're going to turn Halloween into an anthology film series, and we're not going to have every installment be about Michael Myers. Well, the problem was they had already made Halloween 2. Because they had made Halloween 2 as a direct sequel to the original film, when they tried their experiment with Halloween 3, no one was ready to listen. I am, however, proud to report that a lot of us, including myself, have actually really taken to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch over the course of a number of years and a number of viewings. It is a truly excellent horror film. And despite what a lot of people say, it works on so many levels. It's it's psychological horror, it's body horror, it's a detective movie. It works so well, and is this weird hodgepodge of like science fiction meets like cult / witchcraft horror. It's a great film, and you know, when Tom Atkins is your lead, you can't go wrong. At some point, I'll do a Night of the Creeps review, and then you'll really understand where I'm coming from with my love for Tom Atkins. He is such a great actor, and I love him in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. The cast overall in that movie is great. The score, very creepy, also done by John Carpenter. He was a producer on this one. I don't believe he wrote it. In fact, I think I remember specifically that they hired someone to write Halloween 3. But Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, there's a meme that's been going around for a while now, and it's absolutely true. And this meme says, if Halloween 3 Season of the Witch had just been released as Season of the Witch, it would now be a beloved horror cult classic. And it is true, because it's such an interesting flick, and I can't say enough good things about it. Again, if you're looking for something to watch this Halloween season, maybe watch all 13 Halloween films. The new one's coming out in theaters. Just make sure you're caught up before you go. I really hope you've enjoyed these reviews of Rob Zombie's Halloween, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2, and Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. If you did, don't forget to click that like button. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and the bell notification to let you know every time Cinema Kane has a new review going up. I'm your host, Cinema Kane. I hope you've enjoyed these reviews, and I'll see you at the video store.